We went through the entire Brawl Cup where we got a lot of free rewards, and there are still more, and it's even Brawl Stars who gives them to us and gives us this famous QR code. We'll show you various moments from the Brawl Cup, including some behind-the-scenes footage. No summary, just a glimpse of everything that happened. And most importantly, they announced where the World Championships will take place, and what's most interesting about all this is that there are a lot of Easter eggs in this famous video. We'll check all that out together. Hope you're doing well as usual. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and use code PERIADO. Thanks to everyone who does. And we're going to start this video without further delay. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching. The very first thing I tell you to do, and this is really mandatory, is go to the Super C store. I'll also put the link in the pinned comment and in the description. At the Super C store, if you switch pages, you get 5 free gems. I agree, it's not much, but it's better than nothing. We never refuse free gems as long as they're free. By the way, if there are any offers that interest you or anything like that, don't forget to get the passes and so on from the Super C store. Sometimes there are skins that change, and you can also see some small discounts. You never know. If you're interested, this is where you should get offers, especially for those who are looking for gems and so on. For the other things, we're going to go to Brawl's account, and you can see the famous QR codes and so on. Of course, we'll look at all that together. As for this QR code, they tell us in the name of Star Patrol, a gift for everyone. If you can't scan a QR code from an image, just take a screenshot. I'll also put the link in the description and a pinned comment to make it easier for you. Just click to get Brassard's free reward. Usually it's a KO star drop. If you're lucky, great. If not, it's still a KO star drop. But since it's free, we'll take it. Anyway, with all the rewards we've gotten, this weekend has been pretty rewarding in terms of prizes. Since we simply had the predictions, I hope you did all of them. I only missed the predictions for day 3. Otherwise, I did day 1 and 2. And I'm happy to tell you that on day 1, well, we got everything right. Everything was correct. On day 2, same thing. We almost got everything right. We just missed one match, and that was Futi's. Normally, they should never have lost, and on top of that, Fute made it to the finals. Personally, I didn't have time to make predictions. I just watched the live stream, the semi-finals, and the final. That's all I did, and Fute went all the way to the final. C'est tout ce que j'ai fait, et Fute est allé jusqu'en... Normally, they should never have lost, but there you go. With the predictions, we almost got everything right, and that's really satisfying. And as for rewards, if you followed along and watched the live stream, normally you should have all the rewards. So the tags, the hypercharges, and so on. Here's a few tips. If you have the hypercharge, don't claim it yet. I'll explain why later. If you followed my predictions, you should already have pretty much all the free rewards, which is great. Don't worry, there will be more rewards because monthly qualifiers and monthly finals will be coming as soon as next month, so we'll have more rewards. But for that, make sure to subscribe, at least you'll know more. Thanks to Brawl Cup, and since 2 European teams finished 1st and 2nd, Europe gets an extra spot at Worlds. That means Navy is supposed to go to Worlds if we keep the same ranking, so that's one more team for the SQ. That means big talents, especially Nessie, Dompe, and Min, should be there for the SQ, just like Reaper and Ripidotum. But be careful, the ranking is far from over, we still have 3 months to go. This means more spots for European teams, since Europe outperforms the rest of the world. South America was eliminated quickly, China didn't do well, and North America was easily dominated. Crazy Krisirakun also lost, and only State was left before losing 3-0. Europe is clearly ahead. Since the Brawl Cup just happened, we got a video announcing the Brawl Stars World Finals 2026 will be in Tokyo. Now we know the year and location. There's $1 million for the teams to win. Almost anyone can join the World Championships, especially through the challenges. You should participate. There's a spot for the World Championships, which is really cool. Now, will they get crushed or not? I'm looking forward to seeing that. But it's still interesting. We'll talk more about the World Championships later because there was a famous little prediction. And above all, there's quite a bit of history there. We'll talk about it again in just a bit, don't worry. But first, there are still several things, especially about Brawl Star, including a famous challenge with Funks, a well-known boss. You can even do speedruns and try to win in the shortest possible time. Indeed, it just shows our best time. I think that's pretty cool. So you can set records. It's the first time in history that we have 5 players facing a boss. Normally, it's 3 against the boss. The Star Nova transformation fragments aren't available, only the Magical Girls ones are. Anyway, don't forget to do it. Most importantly, you have 6 Star Drops Nova. For the event, it's essential, don't forget. Among the other things that happened this weekend, I hope you did your Mega Pig, right? There are always free rewards. Honestly, after a while with the Mega Pig, we're almost sick of it. It's almost pointless. Seeing 600 or 200 power points doesn't really help, especially if you have no skin or anything. It's a bit disappointing. I hope the next reworks cover the clubs, Mega Pig, and everything related. We won't keep you waiting any longer. You know, we actually had a famous poll where we had to vote on where the World Championships would take place. France was absolutely certain it was a no. But since we had the teams in China, I thought, well, it's possible we'll have it in the US. It was really between those two. In the end, it's happening in Japan. For those who voted for Japan, let's just say the reward isn't something amazing. You only want a sushi. Those who voted for Japan, so you don't have that reward yet, it will be delivered on June 1st. Yes, it's in a little while. I don't know why, but there you go. You'll just get a sushi or a star drop that will arrive like that for free. We agree it's not that great, but that's not our focus. We're really interested in the famous reveal video. In the reveal video for the World Cup in Tokyo, there are actually little clips where you can see this. Those who really know Brawl Stars, that's the investor video that came out in 2020 where we learn all the lore of Brawl Stars and so on. This is especially visible, like in the Buffy video. There are lots of small images, such as Billy probably hitting a Frank. There are many frames like that. We can think, yeah, maybe they haven't forgotten the famous investor video and there might be a little follow-up. We can also see another thing from the Buffy. It's this. Anyway, that's super interesting. That video shouldn't be forgotten. Well, obviously it's related to Japan. So we have Kenji and Kei's in the spotlight, of course, because it's Brawl Stars Japan. You get the connection. And in this video, as you can see, there are little images that are going to be connected to the investor video, as we can see, for example, here. And that means, could it be the return of the law? Remember, the next Brawl Talk is in June, so it certainly won't be during the Worlds, but we know the Worlds take place in November. If necessary, the Brawl Talk in November or even in October. In short, the Brawl Talk for that season. There might be something about the law, and we might get even more clues during the Worlds. We know they drop Easter eggs during Worlds. For example, Edgar's arrival was announced then, so new brawlers could appear. I think it's possible. Anyway, it looks really cool to have the Worlds in Japan. The atmosphere seems incredible. Of course, I'll keep you updated. And above all, we hope that a European club will win. Why not Humble once again? We're mainly hoping some French teams will join the game, but so far, none have appeared. So, if we can put a little pressure, a bit of promotion so that Gentleman or Carmen, for those who know them, could join the game, that would be really great. Anyway, I can't wait to see all that. We'll talk about it again, of course, but that'll be later. And as I told you, it's kind of connected to this famous Brawl Cup since we're talking about rewards. There will also be other rewards during the Worlds. You can see you can win a famous Hypercharge. This Hypercharge, normally, you can click to claim it, just like you can click everything you've won. So the star drops, the icons, and so on. It says that you've won a random Hypercharge in the Brawl Star event. Especially if you have all the Hypercharges, don't claim it. If you claim it and you already have all the Hypercharges, you'll just get 1,000 gold. It's not worth it. It's better to wait. We know that there will be new Hypercharges coming out soon, so just wait a bit. It's a bit indefinite, limited in terms of time. And as soon as there are new Hypercharges coming out, you'll have to wait 7 days or 14 days, just enough time for them to be released and for you to be able to get them for free in there. Then you can open it and you'll get a Hypercharge. Even those who don't have all the Hypercharges, you can maybe wait and try your luck to get the new Hypercharges that are coming out, since they're simply the smallest ones. Anyway, just a little tip, it could be interesting. Otherwise, in this Brawl Cup, of course, it's Hamble who won. They won 3-1 against Feud, as we saw. The matches were really exceptional, and on top of that, Hamble really made a big comeback. They had lost 3-0 against Big Talents, and especially 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. In short, there was clearly no contest. That was during the last moments of the final. Fumble wasn't at their best, but on April 12th, a month later, they beat top teams. They were clearly in great form and bounced back well, really thinking things through. Even in terms of the atmosphere and everything around it, you can see that it didn't look so bad. I think it was way better than Worlds or anything like that. There was a lot more energy. Everything was really centered around Brawl Stars. I remember having been to several Worlds. Back then, it was really just a tiny room. It wasn't even a quarter of this room. Brawl Stars is getting bigger and bigger, even in terms of esports. And you can see that it's packed. That's incredible. When I talk to you about the atmosphere, well, the commentary is hilarious, but when I talk about the atmosphere, it's really that, you know, there were huge Star Park things like that. There was really everything all around. During the Worlds I attended a few years ago, it was really just a small room among lots of other games. It was really a tiny thing. Now there were actually cosplays and so on. Well, it's something you either like or you don't, but there were really a lot of things being filmed. Most importantly, the atmosphere, room setup, and even the control room were impressive. I'll show you some short videos to give you a sense of the environment. There was still a lot happening. Well, is it a bit cringe? You know, it's something you either like or you don't, but still, there was quite a lot going on, and it should be noted, they've really improved. After that, I think it's just people who show up like that. I don't think it was Brawl Stars who organized it, but there you go. On the other hand, there are a few clips that are pretty interesting. We can talk about Nob, his ultimate, and I saw this little clip, and actually, after looking into it a bit, it's an auto-aim bug. You can see Nob, that's exactly the word I'm talking about. Notice he's able to charge his ultimate, especially his Hypercharge, at that moment. He didn't aim, he just auto-clicked since it happened simultaneously. Normally, when you aim, you get a little yellow circle first, and you have time to aim. Well, here, his auto-shoot went off, it seems. If it had connected properly, things would be different. At this point in the clip, it's 2-1, and they've already won a set. They lost 3-1 in a pack because of that. We can see it's thanks to this clip in particular that Mbalo tied the score. If he had hit the EMZ properly, normally it would have been a bump, and we can see that the EMZ ends up with 2,500. Logiquement, we can logically assume things even if we try to remake the world with ifs. I think Kish would have died and Feud might have returned, but it's just more ifs. but actually the auto aim really seems to be bugged. And also we have to mention Fute, who crushes Clary Sirakon with a substitute. So the dwarf, it's really something crazy, right? And I completely agree. People might start to realize how painful it is for European teams when facing Fute or Mbel in MF. The difference in level compared to other regions is really incredible, right? It just shows that Europe is way above. It's crazy. By the way, we have some matches. Not sure if you want a brief summary video for people who can't watch esports, since it honestly takes 5 hours a day to watch everything. Do you want a short summary of the World Cup just to see the team comps, the drafts, and basically what happened? I think it could be pretty cool, but yeah, we actually had a little 0-16 from Sense. Just so you know, it was in a reserved area. He got completely wiped out. And the funniest part about all this is that he even made a video where he explains how to play Shade against a Lumi. Seriously, his video is literally about that. He has a Lumi and how he can counter that Shade. That's exactly what happened in the match. So yeah, he picked a Shade and got completely wiped out by Cite Tempo for sure. But it was clearly the technique he explained. He's really the one who explained that famous trick. It's pretty crazy, honestly. Really, the Lumi technique against a Shade. I think it's crazy. He literally took that. But anyway, like I said, to sum up this Brawl Cup, it was really exceptional. We can especially see Boss, for example, right here. I think it's pretty crazy. For example, he's going to launch an attack. The chest is going to end up with 50 health left. Meanwhile, on the other side, you can see that their chest was at 7%, but they came back and won the game. The chest still had 50 health left. They made a comeback with just 50 health left. Honestly, the matches were really crazy. That's why I'm telling you, why not a little recap? If there is one, if you're interested. Honestly, I might get motivated to make the video. Don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Among other things that happened, I have to talk about this. I found 2 codes on TikTok, but the weirdest thing is that it's Brawl Stars Russia. You can see, indeed, it says Brawl Star R. So yes, it's Brawl Stars Russia. You can see here, they're verified. So what is this? Because you can see they have 359,000 likes and 615,000 to get this icon. Obviously, it's fake. There are several accounts like this. You can see a Brawl Star Russian with an X. Then there's Russian Brawl Star. Anyway, there are a lot of them. They're all verified. Obviously, all of this is fake. As you can see, it always redirects to a Telegram link. Don't get fooled, please. Even if they have 1 million subscribers, it might look real. Please, that's all they have. It's obvious that it's a fake account. It might look like it's Danny's account or something like that. No, of course it's fake. And they're not going to give you 24-star drops just like that. It's completely fake. Don't go there. Well, you can watch the TikTok if you're really interested. They're just scalpers, basically scammers. They'll just redirect you somewhere else to sell you something, to get you to buy something. Anyway, definitely don't go here. All of this obviously is fake once again. Since I'm talking about scams and fraud and so on, I saw this and it got quite a reaction. Elox was apparently playing with a known cheater, which sparked some debate. Here are the famous BA and Elox. He's currently the top player with the most trophies worldwide. You can actually see a BA and how she moves. You see, it does look strange. The movements are really weird. Right here, you can notice that the way she moves, you see, it's odd. It doesn't really look human, unlike movements that are, let's say, more normal. But the weirdest movements are actually, for example, here. Let's go to 50 seconds. So you can see it's going to dodge everything like this, and you have these micro movements. It goes right, left like this. You may think it's a player, but there are cheats which are forbidden. This person will be banned. So don't do this or download such things or you'll lose access. It's just a movement that's optimized to dodge all the bullets. And Lox, of course, wasn't aware of it. He actually made a little post about it where he said he didn't know. Obviously, he had played with I don't know how many people. And I think he just plays with anyone, playing I don't know how many hours a day. It's a bit complicated. At first, he said, yeah, I don't see where the cheat is. And a few days later, he actually apologized for that. Among other things, I found this. It's pretty nice. And to know which icon, which spray, or which emote you can't get in the game. All these emotes, these icons, etc. are no longer available in the game. So be careful. There are also other icons in that category, but those we really know they're exclusive. Like, for example, you see the creator icon, things like that. Even if we can get them, all of that, those are things that are really ultra rare. If you have one of these icons, sprays, emotes, etc., yes, those are extremely rare things, or they haven't been released yet and will be released. There's a good chance, by the way, that they will be released. Or it could come back out because some things have already been released before. Like, for example, that famous little pin that we could get, I think, for a short time. I gave it out to you. Those were things we could get for free. And then there are other things, well, as you can see, that's for next season. Interestingly, if you have one of those, it's very rare. For example, that famous pin was once free and is now rare. Brawl Stars in an alternate timeline really made me laugh. Imagine if that's really how it is on BS. The worst part of all this is that she actually has a voice line that says that. That's the worst part. Fortunately, there's no 6 or 7 like that, just the voice line, which is something. I saw this. Maybe some of you remember Moko. We did a few sessions last year playing a new Supercell game. It was pretty cool, but got repetitive fast, so everyone quickly got bored. You can see a little detail on this famous announcement. For those who remember, anyway, it says 1919.05, which means there's going to be a kind of Brawl talk for Moko as well. So let's say a Moko 2.0. Normally, it's supposed to evolve a lot. There will be quite a few new things. I'll keep you updated if it turns out to be interesting or not. If the game stays a flop, it could still be interesting. It's a Supercell game after all. The brand is cool, so if it turns out great, I'll try it and talk about it again. It's interesting because they're really making a real 2.0 version here. In other reactions, I noticed that's essential. There should be a solo icon and a way to replay with teams. Being able to replay directly would be simpler. Still, quitting and coming back to replay isn't the worst thing. What is this thing? I just want to play Unlucky Day. It would be kind of funny to have something unlucky. Well, this is really harsh. Let's agree on that. But if you lose your match, for example, you could lose on the jump. That could easily make people mad, I agree, but there's a mischievous side to it. In an event, it might work well. Double your chances or lose a few things. It's a bit like a casino. After 7 years, I'm finally maxed out as a free-to-play. You have to give him a big GG for that. But you can see it takes 7 years. Did he really play every day, etc.? That's the big question. You have to wait 7 years to be fully maxed out. Each brawler can use 2 gadgets, 2 star powers, and 2 gears. And even the buffs, huh? Honestly, GG. But well, you'll have to wait a really long time. I think he's really active on the game. You can see he spent 3,000 hours. That's still pretty good, but he's completely free to play. A little idea to have an anchor, so Sparky. It's simply the Zapier on Clash Royale. That wouldn't be bad. That would actually be pretty good. There's a little idea about Clash Royale skins. There are so many things. I want to say, yeah, that could definitely come out. I can't get used to the Curiosity Shop. Yeah. The catalog, honestly, it's true, we might miss it. There were so many skins. You could take whatever you wanted. Now, I think the Curiosity Shop is a bit more fun. So with Juju, at least you can go to your shop every day to see if you have an interesting offer or not. I think that little aspect is positive. You can see there's actually a really interesting opinion here. It lets you buy, for example, mythical skins and John Derek Days blinks. And above all, you get that random chance to see if you're lucky and if you get some pretty cool offers. I think that's pretty good, honestly. Now, the real problem is, of course, we're replacing it again with randomness. And that's maybe a bit of a shame too. Would you prefer $1 or $2? Honestly, it's exactly the same price, 11,470. Except that, well, here you have this skin and there you have almost the same skin, except it's yellow. It's really the same. Plus you get 2 skins here with Grand Bravado, which isn't bad either, especially since it's a mythical skin. Yeah, no, Brawl Stars really needs to fix this Juju shop a bit. There were a lot of bugs, but you see, having offers like this, well, it's useless. Obviously, you want to take this one and not that one. You might as well switch skins. Here, it's the same skin. It's pointless. It took me a while to understand why it left a double offer. Here, as we can see, it's a bit like this offer here. It says minus 50%, except there's only 1 skin. Actually, well, the umbrella hides Spike's skin, and well, you can guess, right, Spike, you can see him here. But honestly, when I saw that, I thought, well, what is this weird offer again? There are still a few little bugs, let's say. But after that, it's fine. It's more of a funny story. Finally, at the end, I saw this. Dealt 65 points with callbacks. That's really impressive. I admit, I don't know how he did it, knowing that if you use a dagger, well, obviously it takes more than 65 health points from him. Here, it's almost just the poison. I don't know how that's possible. Or maybe he just dealt, well, 65 points of damage just to kill someone, that's all. Really, I don't know how that's possible, but GG to him. Anyway, I hope you found this little video interesting. I hope you learned a bit more. Once again, I'll put all the links in the description and in a pinned comment. Thanks for watching this video. I'll just say see you next time. And bye, guys. That's it. All right, bye. It's all crap.